wish you grace in this moment. I wish you peace in this moment. I wish you love in this moment. I wish you freedom. I wish you grace in this moment.
Hi, and welcome to video number 5. Today we talk about getting the tongue out of the way and why that's important. But first, let's warm up the bottom body muscles by doing the same exercises that we've been doing, but adding a little bit more advanced technique each time. Starting again with the motorboat, of course. I want to have you sing 3 times up and back on that do, re, mi, re, do. So with just the ooh, it would sound like ooh. But with the motorboat, and to add just a little bit different element yet, as you're in the process of singing with that motorboat, slowly attempt to put your tongue on the gum line behind the top teeth. Connect the tip of the tongue to the top teeth, or at least the gum line behind the top teeth. If you tried to start there before you started the motorboat, you may spit all over yourself. That's why I'm going to have you practice with the motorboat first, singing it along, and then slowly start to push your tongue forward until it finally connects up there. You'll notice immediately a difference in sound, a difference in space available, and a different need for the amount of breath that the core needs to push through. Let me demonstrate and really listen deeply so you can hear what's happening in my voice as I move the tongue forward. Listen. Did you hear and feel the difference? Where I started, my tongue was kind of arched back. As soon as I started moving it forward, there was much more of an open space available. The sound waves moved back into that open space, and I gained about a pound or so of bass in that voice. So practice with me with that motorboat, and very slowly, gently, try to keep your tongue on that gum line behind your top teeth, or get it there in the process as soon as you can. Ready? And once it's affixed to that gum line, try to keep it there throughout the rest of the exercise. Inhale deeply and do it here now. Notice in your voice how the tone changes when the tongue is moved forward. I'll tell you why that works in just a minute. Do it here now. And notice again, without the tongue in the way, how there is no decision what voice to be in. It naturally moves through the mixed voice from chest into head voice without that glitch. Now, because of the airflow and because of the tongue out of the way, which opens up the throat even more than just the yawn by itself. Try it here now. Ready? I still have a hard time wrapping my mind around the fact that even now, with my tongue fully out of the way, how much more air it takes and how much more core is activated when the space is fully available now because the tongue is moved forward. So try it here now. Ready? I'm completely out of air. Do it here now. Ready? takes so much energy when the tongue's out of the way. Do it here now. Now, it wasn't until the second or third passage through that I was actually able to keep my tongue up there. But you did notice, didn't you, that drastic difference in sound when the space is more available, when the tongue is fully out of the way. Keep going with this, ready? Just a few more higher. Yawn as you inhale, remember. And yes, that makes me spit more. But remember, spit happens, so don't worry about that. Just a few more. Ready? Start here now. That takes every ounce of energy I have to keep that tongue up there, to keep that throat that open, that high. I'm running out of breath even faster. But man, I sure feel the strength happening in my core. Do it a few more times, ready? Can you feel your center working as hard as I do? One more higher now. Ready? Yawn as you inhale. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm breaking a sweat. This is so physical an exercise. So anytime you start to feel the vowel sounds tighten, or your throat muscles want to tighten, or anything wanting to grip other than the waistline muscles, move your tongue forward. Even when you're singing a song, especially when you're singing a song. If I can move my tongue just a little bit forward, it helps open up the throat just like the yawn does. But I still have to think about yawning as I inhale to prepare the throat. Then the tongue muscles can move forward, opening it up even more and disallowing the back of the tongue from helping with the tonal production now, especially helping me over that, what used to be the glitch. We'll talk a little bit more about how that dissolves the glitch in just a minute. I want to take you through a couple more exercises, still with that tongue on that gum line behind the top teeth. Think now about an ooh-wee-oo. I'm going to take you up 5 notes and back, so a little bit more advanced. Think about do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do. But ooh-wee-oo-wee-oo-wee-oo-wee-oo. So without the tongue in the way, or without the tongue anywhere, it's going to sound like this. Ooh-wee, 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 ooh. And notice how different the oohs and the e's sound. With the tongue on the gum line, behind the top teeth, ooh-wee, 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 ooh. It's harder to make the e's forced forward, which is where the tongue wants to put the e's when it's resistant, when it's being used abnormally but pretty naturally in our society. In other words, ooh-wee, the tongue is arched. Which here, ooh-wee. Hear the difference? But without the tongue in the way completely, notice where the vowel sounds start to resonate naturally. Kind of like the overt woofy yawn through the voice back and down into that open throat. Now with the tongue out of the way, you can feel the voice move back and not quite so fallen down into that open throat. Try it with me a few times and you'll be able to feel what I'm talking about. Ready? Start here. Ooh-wee, 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 ooh. Go down first. Ooh-wee, 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 ooh. Notice I'm still yawning every time I inhale. Ooh-wee, 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 ooh. Notice I'm still puffing out my belly as I inhale. One more down. Now back up, starting here, ready, yawn as you inhale. Notice how the tongue wants to work, but you're not letting it, are you? Keep it on the gum line behind the top teeth if you can. Ready, yawn as you inhale. Start it here now. Is your tongue getting tired? Mine is. Notice how it wants to work the higher we go. The higher we go, the harder I have to push it against those teeth. Ready? Yawn. My tongue's getting very tired. Last one. Ready? Relax. Now notice that when my tongue is out of the way, the stomach muscles, sides and back, are working twice as hard as they were when the tongue was in the way and more active. With an open throat, the waistline muscles, the core, is working much harder than those muscles were when the throat was contracted. So again, this accumulative muscle memory is absolutely essential to be able to sing at bedside or speak with anybody from the center of our bodies. Communicating with this much breath helps me stay centered, focused, and relaxed. And what a better place to be than here at bedside. And how better to stay present at bedside than to stay in my center. So when I'm singing the way I'm singing now, and when I'm speaking from those core muscles, the only muscles that are engaged are the waistline muscles, all through the core. What is starting to be more and more relaxed then are all of the upper body muscles, especially the throat, and now for the next couple of videos, the tongue can move down, forward, and out of the way, creating even more relaxation, which creates even more of that peaceful, lullaby, breathy sound. So, to use these exercises now in a practical application, I'm going to teach you yet another song. It's one you probably know. It is on the website. It's called I Wish You Grace. Let me sing it through for you first. Then we'll do it with a few exercises, and then for real, and you'll be able to tell me what's happening in your body. Just listen first. I wish you grace in this moment. I wish you peace in this moment. I wish you love in this moment. I wish you freedom. So the way we'll do it first, of course, is with the motorboat, just to get that new melody, if it is new, fully coming from the bottom body. Then we'll sing it with the words with the yawn. Then we'll sing it one more time with the tongue up there. Then for real, and forget about all that stuff. But notice how much more freedom you feel after using the song with the 3 exercises before we go to the words. So first of all, with the motorboat. And notice that when you stop and start the tone, tut is kind of what I'm doing with the that automatically allows that tongue to touch right where we were, that gum line behind the top teeth, to help it move out of the way before we're actually working with the tongue. Secondly, when you've gone through this enough times and can eventually sing the words with the motorboat, I'll invite you to go for it. At first, try the vowel sounds like ooh, we did a little bit of that in video number 2. We did a little bit of the ya with the motorboat in video number 3, I believe. That kind of thing. But when your airflow is as consistent as it can be, when the abdominal muscles, sides and back, are as strong as they can be, then start to sing the words and the motorboat at the same time, like this. I wish you grace in this moment. I wish you peace in this moment. I wish you love in this moment. I wish you freedom. That takes up all the wind I have. And that's such a strange idea. But notice again why that works and why it works so well. It effectively isolates my lips from my teeth, from my tongue, from my throat. Everything has to work independently from each other with all of that wind coming through. I am practicing over-articulating and using my tongue muscles to the extreme to be remotely understood, and keeping that throat open and the tongue forward because it's busy pronouncing the words. So at first, best you can. But as soon as you can, start to enunciate the words. I'm going to sing it with the words, not only because I can, but because this is what I want you to move into eventually. So do it with me as best you can. Ready? I wish you grace in this moment. I wish you peace in this moment. I wish you love in this moment. I wish you freedom. Do it again. I wish you grace in this moment. I wish you peace in this moment. I wish you love in this moment. I wish you freedom. Very strange, isn't it? Now, let's do it with as much yawn as we can keep in our open throats. So, reminding our bodies again to yawn as we inhale to help prepare the throat, and then not to let that throat close no matter what happens. Notice, of course, that will make the song sound very weird and woofy, almost overtly operatic. And that's okay for practice, especially in private. Ready? Same pitch. I wish you grace in this moment. I wish you peace in this moment. I wish you love in this moment. I wish you freedom. No, the word freedom was the hardest one for me to keep that open with because I wanted to sing, I wish you free. Closes right up. I wish you freedom. And it takes a whole lot more wind. Now, last 2 times through before we sing it for real. This time, keep your tongue on the gum line behind your top teeth. Okay? Notice why I have you yawn first. I can still squeeze my throat shut and put my tongue up there, and that defeats the purpose completely. But once the yawn is intact, then the back of the tongue seems to be the last stronghold of resistance. So when it's forced to do something else, planted against the gum line behind the top teeth, with the yawn, you'll notice even more space available for the sound waves to resonate in. Try it. Ready? Yawn as you inhale. I wish you grace in this moment. I know it sounds ridiculous. I wish you peace in this moment. I wish you love in this moment. I wish you freedom. Now, just sing it twice through, just like we did, but without any of those exercises. Don't think about anything at all. Just sing and notice how the voice feels. Ready? I wish you grace in this moment. I wish you peace in this moment. I wish you love in this moment. I wish you freedom. Now even softer by adding more breath. Ready? I wish you grace in this moment. I wish you peace in this moment. I wish you love in this moment. I wish you freedom. I wish you grace in this moment. I wish you peace in this moment. I wish you love in this moment. I wish you freedom. More breath, faster. Can you feel the openness? Can you feel the sense of freedom without the tongue? In the very next videotape, we'll work even more at keeping the tongue out of the way. I've got a lot more fun exercises that will help open the throat up even more, getting rid of the last stronghold of resistance, which is the back of the tongue. But until then, for the next couple of weeks, I double dog dare you to add this technique to the yawn and the core work. In other words, keep hissing, keep motorboating, keep blowing on your fingertips. Then add the yawn. Speak and sing with that much openness of your throat. Keep that yawn engaged so that your stomach muscles, sides, and back are engaged in the right and perfect way, even as you speak in practice. Then start playing with the tongue on that gum line behind the top teeth. Speak with your tongue here. Sing with your tongue here. Practice as much as you can with your tongue here. And then relax it and notice what happens. The more I practice with my tongue against that space, the less the back of the tongue wants to work to help produce the tones. So until the next video, sing beautifully from the core with an open throat and now with your tongue out of the way. See you next time.